It turns out that the best way to catch squid is with a paintbrush. Just give them a bit of light and they willingly come forward. Fishermen don't even need to offer bait, just a piece of plastic. And the squid obediently fall into the trap. Fishing boats gather at squid hotspots like dumplings in a pot to secure a prime location. Most fishing boats set off right after lunch. What you imagine a squid fishing boat looks like versus the reality. A few light bulbs and some fishing positions make up the traditional squid fishing boat. The drying squid hanging on ropes is just workers saving some for their meals. Life for the crew is much tougher than you might think. Here only older folks are willing to do this work. During the boat's journey, the crew snatches some sleep. But once the work begins, it's non-stop all night. As they near the destination, the fish finder starts to show traces of squid schools. Clearly this boat isn't the only one aiming for this catch. In this area there's an unspoken rule. First come, first serve. Latecomers must look elsewhere. Before the sun sets, workers lower the jigging machines into the water. On traditional fishing boats, jigging machines are typically available in 3 modes: automatic, semi-automatic, and manual. Compared to automatic jigging machines, semi-automatic and manual modes are more flexible, allowing more workspace on the boat. Workers swiftly untie a bundle of white cloth and throw it into the sea. Under the pull of floats and sinkers, the cloth spreads out like an umbrella in the water. Wait, wasn't this supposed to be squid fishing? Why does it look like trawling instead? If this dense fabric were used for nets, it would be even harsher than protective nets. Even microorganisms in the sea would have to flee. But this isn't a net, it's a drift veil. When hung in tidal areas, it keeps the boat aligned with ocean currents. As the squid gather nearby, and the sky darkens, the workers spring into action. The early morning hours before sunrise, and the twilight hours after sunset, are when squid are most active. Squid love nighttime activity. As the saying goes, those who live in darkness crave light the most. Yet little do they know, the darkest things often hide in the light. On the water, the fishing lights gradually light up, like little suns illuminating the surrounding sea. Workers carefully lower their prepared fishing lines into the water. Not only do squid need light to be lured, but the tools to catch them are also unique. These hooks don't look like typical fish hooks. They resemble blooming flowers. Squid have only 2 hunting tactics: extend their tentacles to attack, and then tactically retreat with their prey firmly in grasp. Once a squid's tentacle touches the hook, pulling back only tightens its grip further. Trying to escape is impossible. The hook only loosens when moving forward. This principle is what automatic jigging machines are based on. Detaching the squid is simple. Additionally, those glowing artificial baits are not to be underestimated. Underwater they perform even better than real fish or shrimp. Squid, untrained in recognizing fakes, eagerly line up to bite the hooks. What you imagine squid fishing looks like. In reality, nearshore fishing yields far fewer catches than expected. Once night fully sets in, workers begin reeling in the lines. As the fishing lines are wound back circle after circle, the captain's heart feels emptier. Another unprofitable trip. It's not that there's no catch, but the few squid appearing sporadically on the lines offer little consolation. This scarcity isn't unique to one boat. Other nearby fishing vessels face the same issue. As the final stop in the coastal migration of squid, one might wonder if the squid in these waters are slacking on their reproductive duties. But that's not the case. For cephalopods like squid, passing on their genes seems to be their sole purpose. It's a party where life and death intertwine. Every male squid given the chance attempts to cling to a female, delivering the seed from its reproductive arm into the female's mantle cavity. Neither the male nor female squid has much time left. Once a female squid has received enough sperm, it quickly starts laying eggs. Holding half a strand of white eggs in its mouth, the female carefully searches for what it considers the safest place to hang them. This could be a sturdy iron fence, or a hidden cluster of seaweed. After laying its eggs, the female squid remains nearby, silently guarding them. It does its best to fend off predators, until its very last moment. Although the egg strands are no thicker than a finger, each contains thousands of precious lives. Under the mother's watchful care, the eggs develop eyes, and begin to resemble tiny squid. Soon they tear through the thin membrane, and cautiously emerge. After a puff of white smoke, they pass over the bodies of their parents, and disappear into the vast ocean. Don't be fooled by their fragile appearance. Their remaining time is actually quite limited. If all goes well, they will return here in a year to repeat the journey of their parents. As is typical of many large marine species, a single female squid can lay over 100,000 eggs at once. Despite their best efforts, they still cannot meet the demands of the consumer market. It must be said, the catch from the fishing lights is truly pitiful. Sparse squids dangle on the fishing lines, swimming aimlessly. The jigging panel is removed, and the squids fall through long pipes into water basins. In calm seas, the catch may be small, but the freshness is guaranteed. If all goes well, these squids resting in the basins can survive until they reach the shore, to at least cover the fuel costs. The captain has no choice but to send all the workers to the front lines. The lucky ones get to use semi-automatic jigging machines. For the rest, it's all manual labor. They cast the fishing lines and reel them in by hand. This is true hand jigging, grabbing each squid with precision and removing it from the hook in just 1 second. Although this action looks simple, it's actually quite risky. While squids might be soft-bodied, their beaks are extremely tough and sharp. This beak, constantly chomping up and down, is capable of precisely cutting through flesh, and it can even inject venom at the same time. Squids can catch prey as large as themselves, including members of their own species. The potency of their venom should not be underestimated. Some powerful squids can even turn a piece of chicken into mush. For every squid caught, workers press a button on a machine. This not only tallies the catch but also measures their skill. Even with manual effort and added machinery, the catch is still disappointing. To boost morale among the crew, the captain reluctantly grabs a few squids, cleans them thoroughly, and prepares them as sashimi, served with their favorite pickled vegetables. For those who make a living at sea, fresh squid sashimi was once an endless supply. Now it's become a delicacy reserved for the privileged. Once they step off the boat, even the workers themselves hesitate to buy it, as it has become a luxury item. The crew eats large bites of rice and sashimi, knowing they need to replenish their energy and gather strength for the second half of the night. Not long after the meal, work begins again. 2 a.m., 3 a.m. These elderly fishermen never stop their movements. What they pull on with all their might isn't just the fishing line. It's the weight of responsibility and life. Years of hand jigging have left them physically and mentally exhausted, and many suffer from joint pain and other occupational diseases. Into the late hours of the night, when their bodies can no longer keep up, some workers momentarily pause, but as soon as they wake for a brief rest, they immediately resume their work. As long as they're alive, they keep going. Life must go on. As the sun rises above the horizon, this fishing trip finally comes to an end. But the work isn't over yet. The workers record the number of squids they've caught on a whiteboard, and sort them by size. Every piece of squid lying flat may have been tenderized. The workers send all the harvested squids to the dock. Despite a night of toil, the squids in the large basins remain fresh and lively, still jumping energetically. Some are directly picked up by local restaurant owners, while others are transported via seafood delivery trucks to nearby seafood markets. To ensure that distant customers can also enjoy fresh squid, the workers lay the squids on ice in foam boxes, seal them up, and ship them nationwide via cold chain logistics. Locally, squids can be eaten raw while still lively, or steamed directly. Even the intestines, which many people would avoid, are seen as flavorful condiments by locals. Of course, the prerequisite is that the squid must be fresh enough. As for those squids that aren't in good conditio, or died before reaching the dock, they are sent to processing plants. These bright white squids aren't some long frozen zombie meat. Of course not. They might have just died yesterday. The vibrant skin color is a sign of a live squid's vitality. Once the squid loses its vitality, its color turns white. Workers remove the squid's innards, teeth and eyes, then rinse them thoroughly in water tanks. Some squids are hung on racks and pushed into low-temperature drying rooms. Once the surface moisture is dried, they are taken out, weighed and packaged. Half-dried squid has a more intense flavor than fresh squid. It's also more convenient for cooking, as it doesn't require long soaking like fresh squid. Another batch of squids is sun-dried outdoors. As the squids dehydrate, their shapes become twisted. They need bamboo frames for support, and once fully dried, they require reshaping. The workers place the squid on machines, where they are repeatedly pounded until they lie flat. At last, neatly prepared dried squids are ready. Thank you for watching. See you next time.